welcome back to my channel. So today is Wednesday and I just came home from a manicure. You know, I go usually on Wednesdays. Now that will change because there is many things which had changed or will change as time goes, and my bun is like, shouldn't be so difficult to stay. I have barely any hair. Anyway, screw the bun, right? Anyway, so guys, today is Wednesday as I mentioned, and it was my day off. And it's not really my day off, it's that I resigned at my job. So I gave a 2-week notice on Saturday. There you go. So anyway guys, so I resigned at my job. I resigned on Saturday, and when I came back on Monday, the manager was just like, hey, do you want to have a coffee? I was like, sure. He's like, oh, by the way, you know, it's a standard procedure, you can go home and we will, because you gave 2-week notice, we take care of you till the time when you put on when it's your last day. And I was just like, okay, that's wonderful. Wow. I have now about 10 days left, 11 days left before I start a new position. Yes, I got the job offer. So what happened, guys? I've been at this position as a salesperson for 4 years, and I had a goal. My goal was to sell one piece over $1 million, to do $1 million transaction or more. And actually that happened, guys. I closed the biggest sale of my career. I'm so happy about it. But after that, I was just like, you know what? Maybe that was like a message that it's time to go, because I have been coming home really tired, very dismotivated. You know, I feel sometimes things happen for a reason. So things definitely happen very well for me, and I don't have to be in a, to say this way, I'm sorry, but in toxic environment anymore, and I will create new future for myself. Yes, I'm starting new job, guys. That's the update, guys. I quit my job. I'm sorry, I have a TV on here, so if the light changes, it's because of the TV. Leave it this way, so it doesn't sparkle on me, all these colors. So anyway, I want to do QA with you, the promised QA, right? My throat is drying. So let's do it. I have a list of questions here, so let's do it. Why are you recording this video? That is actually a question to myself, from myself. I'm recording this video so we get to know each other, you know, like you know a little bit more about me, because I've been on YouTube for over a year and a half now, right? Something like that. And I just want you to know more about me, because that's the whole purpose. That's the whole purpose. Let's have fun. So, what are your favorite things to do? Well, shopping, as you all know. I love shopping. But that's not all. I am a very spiritual person, so I really enjoy reading inspiring books. I love audiobooks to listen on my way usually to work or when I do my makeup. I am a person who loves to do yoga, meditate. I like, and I don't mean meditation just like, you know, like sitting and no, that was actually very wrong. You don't do that, but you know what I mean. My point of way of meditation is as well when you have a peace of mind, the time for yourself. Let's say I like to go for walks, and I've done it for many years. I will walk for like 4 or 5 miles, and you know, you have headphones on or no, you have your own time for yourself. You just breathe the air, looking around and just enjoying the time for yourself without crazy thoughts going through your head. Very important to disconnect. So fashion is one of my hobbies. Skincare is my obsession. I love fitness and wellness. Eating, those are my obsession on all levels. I am not very into like playing sports. I am very clumsy, so since I was a little child, like when we had to play like sports at the school, I was like the worst. I always had my period. Yeah. The teacher was always like, ah, this girl, They didn't even give me a hard time anymore. They just knew I was so bad, so they just set me free. Not good example. Sport is good, don't break a bone. Then another question. You like to spend time alone. I love to spend time alone. I'm Libra. I need balance. So I love to go out. I love to go out to bar and restaurants and dance and laugh and have cocktail and meet new people. But I need balance. I can't do that all the time. Like, I need self-time. I need the time when I do my things, when I just, like, you know, can listen to my audiobook, put face mask on and do my pedicure. You know what I mean? Like, watch movie, like, you know, my kind of movies or things like that, or cook. I love to cook, guys. I love to cook. I don't have much time for it, but when I cook, I really enjoy it. The dish is different story, as we all know, right? Do you argue with your husband? We do argue about stupid things, of course. Yeah, like today, what we argue about? We did argue about something. What did we argue about? Oh, I want to change I want to change some things in the bedroom. It wasn't really argument. It was just like, he said, okay, let's change something there, and I'm just like, yes, let's do it. He's like, so let's decide. I'm like, I'm deciding now. And he's like, good for you. So those kind of arguments, really. Or like the argument could be like, hey babe, can you move your shoes from the living room? At this point, actually, I don't even say, I just go and take it. And the second he sees me taking his shoe away, he's like, oh, wait, I take it. Like, stupid things. Of course we argue, like, we will argue, but it's nothing ever too serious. And if there is something here and there possibly serious, because I'm sure we had like arguments in the past, mostly because my ignorance. We talk, and I educate myself, I read, I research, and then I, you know, have to admit that I have been wrong sometimes. So, because my husband is, don't tell him, but he is really often right. So annoying, so annoying. City or a country? Healthy balance. I'm Libra. I love the city because I love fashion. I love food. Oh my god, I love food, guys. Like, oh my god, my dream is to eat and not to get fat. Like, yes. I love the city because of the architecture, the museums, the restaurants, the fashion you can wear, the fashion you see around, and you get inspired, the energy, like Manhattan, that is just like, the second you're flying above Manhattan, you have this special feeling inside of you, like your heart starts going faster, not just because you are in the air, you know, like, but because you are so excited to actually land in New York. My favorite thing is to be in a car going from the airport to the city, and you are just like watching people as they go in their life. Oh my god, I love that. But let's say 2 years ago we've been in Colorado, and it was very lovely. We went there to see my husband's family because they live there, and we stayed with them for a few days, and it was adorable. We were hiking. I forced my husband to hike. He wanted, but I made him to hike. I was like, I didn't go here just to sit. I want to breathe that 150-degree air. It was middle of summer. So yeah, it was beautiful. It was really very beautiful because I do like the balance. Like a city, yes, I can live, let's say, only in a city, but I like to visit the country part too, but not every country, guys. Like, I'm not that outdoorsy person, like, no. But city, yes, city. Winter or summer? For a big part of my life, I was a winter person. I always loved the winter because I love the fashion. Like, the coats, the boots, the scarves, the gloves, things like that. Love it. But as I learned to like summer in Miami, I like summer only when you can wear bikini and summer dress. If you have to go to work, different story, because it's difficult to wear, let's say, suit or things like that and run around the city, right? That can be a little bit uncomfortable as you get sweaty. I hate sweating. When I work out, I don't mind sweating. That's a whole different story. But I just don't like when I sweat in my like clothes, you know, horrible. So I like fall. I love fall and spring. Those are my two favorite seasons. You don't like fashion trends. Oh my god, I don't like fashion trends. I personally believe you can get always inspired by fashion trends, because there's here and there are nice pieces, you know, like why not? But I'm not saying you always have to buy classic pieces. Like, no, it's good to mix and match. I just don't like the fast fashion, because the brands produce so much of stuff which doesn't sell, and they just like dump it somewhere in the ocean, or I don't know, like that's what I'm guessing it's happening, because I've been watching some documentaries. And that's a first issue, right? And second issue is I just don't like why is everybody soaking themselves in logo? Like, no, like I don't need to know that is the everything is Balenciaga or Fenty or Dior. And I love Dior. I love Dior. That used to be like the only brand I would love, but I don't need to see that. Like I don't need to see like that your hat is like D. Like, you know, I did like the logo print with John Galliano for Dior, the dress, that was adorable. But why would I want to buy a dress with like 40 F's on, or 1,000 of F's on, or, you know, things like that, like shoe with B, like Balenciaga. No, I think there are things you can be a little bit more specific with, like you want scarf or something like that. I don't know, scarf, what an example. You know what I mean, guys. I just don't like how fast the trends go. I think people get lost. People forget who they are, and they just at the point just spending crazy money on buying new. They will wear the piece once, and that is just really not good. Like I say, I'm a spiritual person. I believe not destroying the environment like that much. Even I love the fashion, I just think it's a little too much lately, and that's my opinion. I think fashion is beautiful, but I prefer if you create your personal style and you just don't buy things because it's in trend right now. Like I love my Bottega bags, the pouches, but I waited forever to decide if I really want them, because sometimes when you see it all over social media, you think you like it because you like it on the person, right? The person maybe looks amazing in it, and they have 40 different colors, whatever, and shapes and styles and sizes, and you're like, oh, I like it. And then you buy it and you are like, that's not my style, it doesn't match anything, it doesn't feel comfortable, I don't like it. And then just spend thousands of dollars on a handbag which I don't like, but it looked so good on her. So that's what happens. That's why I choose to wait with the bags till I really decide if that's really something I wanted. And I always love Bottega Veneta brand. I always love them, Dior and Bottega. And I actually won a Bottega bag long time ago, many years before, but for some reason my husband thought that was a little too old style for me, but now I'm much older, so my husband is into fashion, so he has good choices in fashion, so that's why I listen to him. It's good that I have like a spouse who likes the same things, because we do like a lot of same stuff. Do you believe in law of attraction? Oh yes, I do. So when I was a little girl, like 13, 14, 15, I don't know, maybe even younger, I told my mom, one day we are just sitting in the living room, and I told my mom, I'm like going through magazine, and I just like randomly say, I'm gonna move to America one day. And my mom looked at me and she was like, okay, you little girl. Because guys, where I come from, back in the days after communism, you know, very different mentality of people. Now it's different, but then it was just like, you be happy to go for vacation somewhere next city, you know, like it was really difficult at the time. So only people who grew up in communism or post-wars, it's like can understand how difficult these things can be. Like, you know, the mentality of people is a little bit more square. So I am not upset at my mother at all. I absolutely understand, and I'm happy that I did it much later in my life, but I did it. Many things I actually, you know, like my husband always tells me, like the things I wish for always happen, and they happen in the correct time. And like, you know, positivity brings positivity. That's why it's very important for you to know who are the people around you, because people are vampires as well, not the one who drink your blood, but the ones who drink your energy, take your energy away. If you listen all day, all long around you, just negativity, it will affect you if you want or not. Even if you don't want, guys, I swear it will happen to you. And that was actually happened to me at my job, because there were some really negative people. Everything was always problem, and there was always problem for every solution. It will affect you if you want or not. No, not good. So you have to choose. You have to choose the good people in your life to be around. Very careful who you allow to your life, because sometimes even family can be difficult. So I always believe if there is something dark and unwishful, because if I wish you good, there is no reason for you to wish me bad. So if you wish me bad, even if I wish you good, why I should, you know, keep you around? Like I don't have to. There is very little bit of time in our life. Like you know, I'm 36. Time flies. So it's very important to survive yourself with the correct people and not to waste time on the people who don't appreciate you. So law of attraction definitely works. I grew up. Where did you grow up? I grew up in a small little town in south of Moravia, and yes, so tiny teeny you can barely see it on a map. How you met your husband? The famous question. There was so many of you asking me under the first QA video I did a long time ago. I was like, so the story. Let me drink some water. So once upon a time, first I tell you what happened. So I was introduced to my future husband by my ex-boyfriend. So my husband lived in Europe. In Europe. I lived in Prague for many years. I left my family when I was a teenager, and I want to always live in a big city. That was my dream since I grew up on Sex and the City. So Prague was a big city to me. So when I lived in Prague, I dated this guy. He was German, and that was for me the time perfect, because he lived in Germany, I live in Prague, and we just like see each other here and there. And that was perfect for me, because I was too young to have anything serious, and I was just work home. And one day we having dinner, and I was just filled up with my ex. I was just like, what's the point? I cannot deal with him anymore. Like I cannot listen to him, because we were so different. And I have very strong personality, and I don't like to be like the woman who, you know, you can like shush. That doesn't work. You try to shush, not happening. And for him, that was his thing, and I was not taking it, and I can't, like, oh my god, poor Ivet. Anyway, now I feel sorry even for him. Anyway, so we were having dinner, and prior to that we went on vacation, and it was like 10 days vacation, guys, and in 10 days I just like was full of it. Like my cup was full, like almost spilling around. And when we were having the dinner, he wanted to go on boat for a month with his friends, and like us four on a boat, like for a month. Like this anxiety came to me. I'm just like, I just spent with this person this many days. I need break. I cannot go for a boat, because that's not gonna work for me. I'm gonna try like swim back to the land. And I just say, I'm sorry, I'm not going. And he got so upset, because there was again, oh, you are like, you are being you're being difficult. And I'm just like, I'm sorry, I'm just not going. And he, because he was who he was, I don't know why I ever dated this guy, but we learned our mistakes. He was like, okay, so you my friend, I, and a new girlfriend you, my dear friend, will introduce me to, will go for a vacation. And when he said that, I was just like, you know what? That is fantastic idea. Why don't you do that? I took my bag, I say it was nice knowing you. I say goodbye to my friend and her boyfriend, and I left. And that was in like deep in Prague too somewhere, and I just walked through street called Vinohrady, or area called Vinohrady, in my high heels. When was that? In the middle of summer. It was very like dark out there. Like I remember it was not cold, but it was like really dark, because the lights are like not there. I walked through many parks. It was crazy. If I ever done it again, I will smack my face. Stupid. Anyway, he followed me, and I just like randomly crossed like 95, like highway. There were like cars going there. It's like I didn't want to go underground, because at night it's very dangerous. So I decided to run over the road in high heels. Much better decision, no? And then I just randomly, I walked through the whole center, through small street, and I see this doorman standing next to this bar, and people leaving the bar and they're laughing, they had a great time, and I'm just like looking, and I never go out, like I never been out. I was very homey person, just working home my cat, work my cat and things like that. Here and there friends, of course, but like, you know, work is work. Like somebody has to pay the bills, right? What happened was I come to the door and the guy is like, do you want to go inside? And I'm just like, Libra sign, right? I'm like, do I want? Yeah. And I feel like somebody grabs me from the back and pushes me inside. And I literally like flew inside, like I didn't fall, I just like really fast. And then he grabs my hand, it was my ex. He takes me around the bar. And when that happened, I was looking inside and I see there my husband at this time standing at the bar, and there's like this gold light around him, and I swear the light was there, guys. Why? Because there were mirrors and the mirror reflection was like everywhere around him. So my ex takes me around the bar, around all these people, and of course he wanted to go to the bar to get drink, and this guy is standing there. So my ex just starts chatting with this guy, and I'm standing there because he's holding my hand. And, I mean, I didn't want to do any like crazy scene, you know, so I'm just like standing there waiting for him to do his thing, and I'm gonna leave. And he looks at me, my ex, and he's like talking to him, and he's like, this is my girlfriend. And my first thing is that I'm not his girlfriend. I'm like, we just broke up, I just left, he followed me here, you know, like I was getting angry, whatever. And when I say that I'm not his girlfriend, he got upset. And he turned and he's like, oh, drinks on me to everyone. And there's like a lot of people. So he started partying and showing me like he's the man, you know, like, oh, I hate that so much. You have no idea. If man wants to show me how big man he is, that's not the way to go. That's not the way to go. Anyway, he left me there standing next to this guy. When he's partying, show me how big man he is. So yeah. And we just start chatting with this man. And I'm like, he's good looking, you know, I'm like, he's cute, like, why is he talking to me? Like, my English was so bad. And then he just randomly asked me, do you like movies? I'm like, yeah, I love movies. He's like, do you go to movie theater? I'm like, I don't really, but I love movies. And he's like, hey, let's go see a movie together. And I was just like, okay, yeah, let's do it. And he gave me his phone, and I put my number there, and we said goodbye. He left. And the next day I received text message, and the text message say, hi, this is Barry, your movie partner. And since then he's my life partner. We went to see Batman. Batman is our movie, guys. That's the story. How do you deal with jealousy and negativity? Well, that is definitely a lesson of life. I believe we all have to go through many lessons of negativity and jealousy in our lives before we figure out how to deal with it. You know, there always will be people who will dislike you for some reasons. And I figure out as a 36, almost 37-year-old woman that their problems, their issues with you have really nothing to do with you. It's really about them hating something about themselves, and they are taking it on you. So yes, when like I experienced so much hate in my life, sometimes it's just like exhausting, because it's like, again, like, come on people, like, what is wrong with you? And because I'm like, my husband always jokes with me, I'm not nice to people. I'm not nice to people like just like randomly, because people are always so nosy. People want to know so much the second they meet you, especially here in Miami. People don't have good intentions, so you have to be really careful who you allow to your life and who you share with your life story with. How I deal with negativity, I just try to, you know, if somebody's negative around me or tries to put me to a situation where I can become like, you know, on fire, I just prefer to not to say anything or leave. And that is the best actual thing to do, leave. Or new thing what I do will be I start laughing like uncomfortably, but it actually saves me from so many uncomfortable conversation. So I just like laugh and I leave, because I don't like to waste the free time which I will have on conversations which will drain my energy and just like create drama. I'm not the person. I personally believe everybody has their life story, and I don't judge people for being the way they are. Like, if you choose to be negative and a hateful person, your choice, but stay away. Don't try to push your things on me, because why should I be part of it? You know what I mean? So, and yes, jealousy and negativity always will be there. I just decide to say thank you. If somebody tells me something, like, people always try to attack me, like, oh, you look this, you look that, and I just say thank you, thanks, or I hope your day is better, something like that. You know what I mean? I hope you feel better now, or something like that. You know, kill them with kindness. And sometimes people just need you to not to react to their madness, so drama doesn't happen. So that's negativity, jealousy. People will be always jealous for some reason. Sometimes you will not even know why. Like, the things people can be jealous are sometimes so stupid. It can be anything, like really anything. Once I came to my job long time ago, about 11 years ago, when we moved to the States, and somebody asked me, how are you? And I was like, oh my god, I'm doing fantastic. Yesterday we had a great day, we did this, and people are like looking at me, and I was so happy, and people are looking at me, and I'm just like, what happened? Like, what happened? Like, is my English bad? Which probably was, anyway. And then later on, other friend comes up to me and she goes, Iveta, no, it was actually he goes, don't tell people that you are so happy, because people don't like to hear that. People don't like to see other people being happy. And I was just like, what? I was super young, guys. And it is true. I mean, it is true. What a horrible knowledge to have. So you have to be really careful about the people you add to your life, and you should always try to find the people who want you to be happy and enjoy the time, and not the people who constantly will judge you over things which don't even matter. You know what I mean? Children. Does your family pressure you about having children? Well, not anymore. At this point, we are married almost 11 years, together about 13 years. So no. From the beginning, yes, and it was very difficult. It was so annoying, because we used to call to each other with my parents all the time. And every time the conversation went, oh, what about, are you gonna have children? Like, what about children? Oh, that's just like your stage now. You will change your mind, blah, blah, blah. And living in the States, actually, I met more and more people who decide to live their life without children. So some people may regret it later. That is really your very personal choice, and you have to decide what you want to do. I mean, if you decide that in your 40s you want to have a child and you can't, because who knows why, you can always adopt, like, whatever, you know, like, people cannot tell you what to do. It's your body, it's your decision, and you should not have children just because other people think that's the right way to be. But if you want children, go and have them, and do your best. Good luck. Anyway, my journey is, my life will be without children. I like children, they're cute, I really appreciate them, mainly on pictures or behind closed door, far away when I'm sitting in a restaurant. But they're adorable, it's just not for me. I don't really have like reason to say why I don't want to have a children. I just don't feel like it's something I'm wanting. I think for people to have children, that's something you should want, right? Like, I'm not gonna have children just because somebody tells me that's the thing to do. Like, no, like, parenthood is very difficult. I look up to everybody who decide to do it, and it's amazing, and I wish you all, you know, strong nerves and everything, but it's not for me. I cannot imagine myself having, like, let's say little Ivet running around right now. No, I may go for a cat one day again. So anyway, my parents used to pressure me about having children, and my friends and my co-workers who have no business in that, but I mean, that's your decision. You have to decide what you want to do. And my decision was to not to have a children. I never even thought like, oh, my camera just died. So I had to switch the battery. It's like, your battery is exhausted. That's my favorite part. Ethnicity. So I am, as you probably know from my Instagram, I am partly Serbian. My grandfather from my father's side came from Serbia. So, yeah. Are you romantic? No, I am. So, yes and no. So romantic as the thing like marriage proposal, kneeling on one knee and, you know, flowers for Valentine's. No, that is to me just like, please don't do that. That's uncomfortable. That makes me uncomfortable. What for me is romantic is to walk through, let's say, Paris, New York, or London or Prague in a fall season, going to little restaurant and sitting there having, you know, lovely meal and talking about life and your life journey and things like that. That's I like. That is something I like. But do I need hearts and flowers? No, I don't. So it depends what kind of romance, different levels. I mean, I'm not, you know, that young anymore, so. If you could change one thing that happened, what it will be? None. I will not change anything in my life, what I experienced. If it was good or bad, I will leave it there because it made me who I am. It made me stronger. It made me aware. It made me who I am, and that's very important because we become who we are with good and bad experiences. If you have only good experiences in your life, you can be kind of living in a bubble. And who really does have those, right? Like who has only good experiences? Like nobody. I mean, show me one person who has only good experiences. Introduce me. So anyway, I mean, it depends, of course, how you look at the bad experiences, right? Because it's always lesson. It's always lesson of life, and it's good to have them. What is on the top of your bucket list? The top of my bucket list is to become the best version of myself. To do the things which make me happy. To be the best person I can be. Like I want to be, you know, I want to have knowledge of things. I want to be able to understand everyone, even if I may don't like the people. It's a journey of life, I feel. I want to be as open as I can in all possible ways. Yeah. The last thing that made you cry. Conversation about my cat, because one friend of mine, he didn't know my cat died. I didn't see him for 2 years, and he asked me, oh, how is your baby doing? That was tough. That was really tough. My husband is in the shower right now, and we're probably gonna watch some movie or some documentary. Thank you so much for watching my channel, guys. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for subscribing, for your thumbs up, for your lovely comments. And I see you next week. Have a good evening.